If I had understood this about women years ago, I would have avoided nearly every mistake that destroys attraction. You probably would have too, because what you were taught was to seduce through social logic, politeness, and visible effort. But female desire does not operate on logic. It speaks the language of biology. It responds to competition. It reacts to instant evaluations of value. And once biology makes its judgment, no beautiful sentence can reverse it. David Buss, professor at the University of Texas and one of the world's leading authorities on evolutionary psychology, mapped what most men were never told. The strategies of female desire are ancient, unconscious, and ruthlessly selective. This isn't cruelty, it's design. Over thousands of generations, the female brain evolved to filter empty promises, detect emotional performance, and prioritize signs of real capability. Capability to protect, to lead, to make decisions under pressure, capability to generate stability in chaos. When seduction is viewed through this lens, it stops being guesswork and becomes instinct interpretation. The modern man's mistake is trying to win using social conversation, while the evaluation is happening at a deeper level. You offer verbal reassurance, but your body signals need. You offer constant availability, but her instincts read low competitive value. You rush to prove you're different, and in doing so, confirm that you're asking for permission. Seduction is not about being understood. It's about being recognized as the man who doesn't fold under pressure, who doesn't lose his center, who doesn't change his shape to be liked. This is where silent love psychology begins to separate illusion from truth. The core truth is uncomfortable, but freeing. Women do not choose the kindest man. They choose the man whose instinct is read as more adapted, more grounded, and harder to replace. Kindness without boundaries becomes submission. Empathy without control becomes weakness. Availability without scarcity becomes desperation wearing the mask of love. Once you understand this, you stop bargaining for approval and start building presence. Attraction is not a vote for compassion. Attraction is a biological assessment of aptitude. This conflict has followed you for years. You believed that the more you showed care, devotion, and emotional openness, the more valuable you would become. You overextended yourself through explanations, romance, and constant access. And still, you watched interest fade. You weren't rejected because you lacked feeling. You were rejected because of signals. Signals that reduced her perception of your strength, leadership, and rarity. Her brain didn't punish you. It simply followed its ancient protocol: avoid investing in someone who cannot sustain value under pressure. The purpose of this video on silent love psychology is to give you the map to correct that trajectory. We're going to align behavior, body language, tone, and context with what biology actually responds to. We're removing you from the approval theater and placing you in the domain of inevitability. Presence before speech. Access before emotion, scarcity before promises. When these elements align, her instinct does what it has always done with the men who matter. It chooses, it invests, it stays. Engrave this sentence as the foundation of everything that follows. Female desire is not romantic. It is biological. And understanding this is what separates remembered men from forgotten ones. The illusion of the good man is the mistake that kills attraction. It begins disguised as virtue. A man believes that being understanding, generous, and endlessly available will make him desirable. He believes that the more he gives, the more he will be chosen. But he doesn't realize that excessive giving collapses the tension that desire requires. Kindness without limits isn't morality. It's need disguised as goodness. The good man believes attraction can be earned through affection, but female desire does not reward what comes easily. It responds to signals of power, stability, and emotional command. David Buss explains this clearly. Throughout evolution, women favored partners who combined two essential traits: resource capability and emotional dominance. Resources aren't just money. They are the ability to generate order. Emotional dominance isn't aggression, it's control, knowing when to speak, when to pull back, when to remain silent. It's maintaining your axis regardless of external pressure. When you display submission, her brain interprets low protection potential. The good man becomes safe, predictable, and non-threatening, and harmlessness extinguishes desire. She may find you kind, she may respect you, but she doesn't feel pull, because desire isn't built on safety alone. It's built on tension. Tension is born when she senses that you don't need her. You choose her, when your gaze doesn't ask but decides, when your silence isn't avoidance but grounded presence. A 2011 study from the University of British Columbia shattered the myth of the constantly smiling man. Women reported stronger attraction to men with serious, composed expressions than to cheerful, overly friendly ones. The reason is simple. Excessive smiling signals a desire for validation. A neutral expression signals self-sufficiency. The female brain reads this as genetic value. She doesn't analyze it. She feels it. The calm, centered man with controlled eye contact creates a tension that no animated storyteller can replicate. This is where many men fail. They confuse presence with performance. They try to impress with enthusiasm, stories, exaggerated gestures. But effort smells like approval seeking, and the female instinct labels that as weakness. She doesn't desire the man who tries to be seen. She desires the man who is felt even in silence. The solution is simple and ruthless. Stop chasing approval in small moments. Let silence work. Speak slowly. Hold your gaze. Be kind but bounded. When you talk, let it be intentional, not nervous. When you show interest, let it come from decision, not hunger. The good man who becomes magnetic doesn't lose empathy. He installs boundaries, and boundaries are what separate respect from pity. She doesn't want a man who's always available. She wants a man she has to earn. A man who is accessible, but never predictable. The nice guy is safe, and the safe one is forgotten first. Attraction isn't comfort. It's the feeling that she met someone who could leave at any moment and chooses not to. Kindness without power breeds indifference. Power without kindness creates fear. But when both coexist, desire is born. This balance is what turns an ordinary man into a reference. When you understand this, you stop trying to prove your worth and start radiating it. The good man who understands biology and emotional control isn't invisible. He's dangerous, and controlled danger is what the female instinct calls attraction. What most men label rejection is actually testing. A mechanism as old as desire itself. A woman tests to read you, not to humiliate you. She wants to know whether your value is real or performative. Every challenge, contradiction, or cold moment is an attempt to measure the stability of your center.